Now, let's talk about uncovering the truth about credit because, my friends, if you have watched anyone else's videos on YouTube, I thank you for watching this one because we are going to do one thing and one thing only for you. We are going to keep it 100% honest with you, whether you like it or not, whether that's the information you want to hear or not, because it's not always good. Okay. Let's just be honest. We got to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I know sometimes the bad and the ugly are difficult conversations to have, but
Yeah,
they need to be had.
yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about uncovering the truth about credit repair. Now, we're going to talk about some of the data points. Now, when it comes to funding data points, it's not necessarily about the credit score. And I talk about this a lot because someone could have a strong 680 credit score. And I'll let Marshall kind of go over this because this is what she does. She prepares people to get funding. So this is the type of reports that she's been looking at for the last, what, 5, 7 years now?
Yes, absolutely.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So it's all you, Marshall. We want to
Yeah.
hear it.
I would say that for the scores, 680, like we talked about, 680 is a score. It's decent depending on your credit makeup. If
Mm,
I were anybody who's new or building, I would go for, especially in this climate post COVID, I would definitely look for a higher score than 680.
yeah.
And I would prefer to be in around the 700s, even 720s if I can, because the reality is, even if they run you through different lenders, your score can drop because of the inquiries, and you still want to be solid after that.
Yeah.
But when it all is said and done, what it really comes out to is how well have you managed what you've already had. If that looks decent, presentable, reliable, and it passed that durable test, then they're going to issue you the funding. Now, some people, hopefully we can show you how to get to that $100,000 mark, but please don't be upset if you have to start off at the 20,000, the 30,000, the 50,000 till you progress. Don't be afraid of that. Get what you can get and truly manage and work towards having more. That's just like credit card limit increases. You could have started with the $5,000 card. Now, 2 years later, 3 years later, whatever the years later, you're now at a 7,000 or you're now at a $10,000 limit because you've shown yourself sufficient. And that's what it boils down to.
Well said. Well said. Absolutely. Because I was talking to this gentleman that does funding and he's a great at what he does. He helps people get funding, but he charges like 15% of whatever he gets someone approved for. So, that can be a hefty price for some people, but for some people it's worth it. Now, in our community, we're going to teach you how to get funding.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to teach you how to get funding and not have to pay someone 15%. But what he was even sharing with me was that, he requires, if he's going to work with someone, he requires them to have a 750 credit score
Okay.
starting off with.
Good.
So,
Good. And what I would add to this list too, I would love to see people with where it says like their credit limits. The credit mix is good, but especially in this climate, I would love to see a definitive, at least a minimum at $5,000 credit
yeah,
cards,
yeah,
because it just looks like you're more credit worthy or starting that conversation of credit
yeah.
worthiness when there's at least $5,000 there. And although
Hmm.
the 30 under the 30% for the utilization, that can get you in the door given some other factors. But like
Yeah,
you mentioned earlier, it's always great to be closer. The lower, the better.
right,
Down to 10%, down to 5%, down to 2%. It just betters your chances. When
right.
you look like you're desperately needing it and it's going to be make or break, if this lender says yes or no,
Hmm.
it's going to be the death of your business, then they're going to play you. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? They want to give you the money, but they're definitely want to make sure that you can pay it back. And when you're desperate, one little hiccup can, because life happens. Well, how
Yeah.
many people set out to say, "Oh, I got this new car. I'm going to pay it every month. Nothing's going to stand in my way." And boom, here comes something that pops up. Life happens. So they want to factor that you can pay it. And we just want to show them that not only can you pay it, you can pay it off. And then guess what? Come back and get more money.
Absolutely. And the real breakdown here is when we say utilization under 30%, what I really want to see is only one card like at 30%. You need to have all of the rest of your credit cards at zero. So if you had every single credit card that you have on your credit report and they're all at 30% utilized, the chances of you getting funding, it still exists, don't get me wrong, but your interest rate is going to be so high because
It
you
is.
look like a risk. And that might not be a lot to some people because say like your credit limit's $1,000. $300 is 30%. That's not a lot of money in this day and age, right? It used to be like 20 years ago, but now that's like nothing. You could go to Walmart and not even get everything you need for $300. Okay. Like that's like 5 bags of groceries these days. I swear it's ridiculous, but that's
Yeah.
just the way it is. So
Yeah.
that, it's important for us to be able to learn how to leverage credit so we can create multiple streams of income because we're not just teaching you credit for you to have a good credit score so you can sit on it and do jack shit. We're
Yeah.
teaching you so you can leverage your credit and create multiple streams of income based on whatever you're good at, whatever your niche is, whatever makes you happy, whatever you're passionate about. Okay. Because whatever you're passionate about, you can essentially create a business around that.
Yeah.
And there's so much opportunity. Like I just dropped an ebook. It's inside of the community. It talks about how to make 10K a month extra online by not even leaving your house. Okay. How do I know? Because I do it, obviously. Like now my goal is 50K a month.
That's
But
right.
it's consistency. You have to be consistent. You have to be dedicated and you have to join the community so you have other like-minded individuals that can
Right.
help support you, keep you motivated, keep you on track, keep you accountable for your actions because this shit ain't going to get done on its own.
Yeah, and
Okay?
to give good information. Because,
Yes.
for example, let's just say somebody took this and said, "Hey, this is the barrier. This is where I mean, not the barrier, excuse me. This is the where I'm going to use these information. I'm going to run with this." Some people may get denied, but guess what? There are still some people who will get approved.
Mhm.
You talked about how if there is a business that's cash flowing and the bank was able to say they're cash flowing, maybe the score was a 680, 690, and they're cash flowing and their utilization is anywhere between maybe 27 to 26, is still considered high. But there's certain circumstances where that would definitely guarantee an approval, where for someone else it would be an absolute no. So
Right.
we're not saying to scare you off, but we're just being specific that guess what? What's good for you may not be good for your cousin. What gets an
Mhm.
approval for you may not get an approval for your friend. So you
Right.
don't have to be, you know what I mean? Like if you found this video, you found it because it was meant for you to have this conversation, or you've been searching for something or trying to get answers or trying to get something specific. So with that being said, if you need a support system or you need a better understanding, you don't have to be dependent on us. We're not even looking for people who want to be dependent. We want people who want the information and they can take it and run and execute.
We're looking for action takers and money
Yeah.
makers, okay?
Yes. Yes.
Calling all hustlers, calling
Yes.
all hustlers, the legal hustle. And this is where the money's at, the legal online hustle. And a hustle and a scam are two different things. So let's be clear on that. But,
Absolutely.
whatever your niche is, you can create content around that. You can still do affiliate marketing. There are so many different ways that you can make money. I mean, I saw this one guy on TikTok shop and he was just like the most unattractive man ever, but he was showing his receipts on his bank account and he made over $100,000 in 8 months selling on the TikTok shop by simply buying some BS and doing a review over it. And what that is called is affiliate marketing. And you're literally just marketing and giving your feedback on a product and getting a commission from the company. So there's no excuse. No excuse. If you're looking for a way to make extra money because you're like, oh my God, things are so tight. I need to make more money, but I already work full time. This is the community you want to be in. Okay. I was that person. I promise you I was that person. Oh, I wanted out so bad on my 9 to 5, that rat race. Oh, Lord have mercy. I was living in the Bay Area, commuting to work in Oakland every day, 2 hours there, 2 hours home, 4 hours in the day, 4 hours in the car every day commuting. That's a lot. Okay. But what I did was I leveraged my time. So I listened to nothing but educational content. I learned, I went to YouTube University while transporting to work and back. While at work, I had my headphones in, listening to stuff all day, every day, and just listening. And sometimes I would watch the same video like 5 times because
Exactly. To
it
get
had
it.
such great information, but I'm never going to catch everything watching it once. So don't feel bad. This is why these videos are on YouTube. So you can watch it, replay it, rewatch it, re-listen. This information might not click the first time you hear it. I highly recommend that you watch all 4 of the episodes from the Credit Concept podcast, which we're talking about the credit hacks. So that way you can acquire funding to start and create multiple streams of income. Now, obviously, if you had a TikTok shop and you were just doing affiliate marketing, but you knew how to do it, which is, again, in the community, that's zero startup. You don't even need credit to start that. You can start earning instantly. And there's a lot of things that don't require any startup or don't require any investing. You just have to put the work in, which you're going to either have to invest time or money. And a lot of times it's both.
Yeah.
But if you're someone that has a lot of time on your hands, this community is going to be great for you because you can do all the work yourself. Even if you don't have the time, we can help assist you. We have resources that can help with outsourcing. There's so many different opportunities that we have available to you. So make sure if you have any, hesitations, I've left a link in the description for you to book a call. And guess what? The community is a little bit of nothing. It's a monthly subscription. You can cancel at any time. And it's for a little bit of nothing. Like, seriously, people are charging $10,000 for this same information. I know because I work with someone who just paid to be in a mentorship for $10,000. And guess what? She has learned goose eggs from it. She said, I've learned more with you in the last 2 months than I have with them in the last 6 months, because all that they do is just talk about nothing, and it goes over my head, and I don't feel comfortable asking questions because I feel stupid. But guess what? You guys will be able to have access to us, to email us, text us. No question is stupid. Okay. I don't want anyone to ever feel like that. Okay. And if you did feel like, hey, I don't want to ask this in front of the group, email me, text me. I have no problem, just, letting you know what the real information is, or you can just book a quick 15-minute call. They're only $35, guys. And I do this on purpose. So you guys, if you just need a little bit of information, spend the $35. That's nothing. Okay. It's going to cost you more if you make the wrong decision. Okay.
Exactly.
So
at least you get your response back custom as well too. Because sometimes it's so quick to give an answer, because many times I'll go on a podcast or I'll go on somewhere, a webinar, and people always ask, oh, what's the best credit cards to do this and that? I have to see your credit profile.
Right.
Of course, you should be able to belt things out, but realistically, if I'm telling people to go to, let's say, Navy Federal, and this person ruined their relationship with Navy Federal, was I really a benefit to them?
Right.
So I love to see what's going on with the file so we can custom what needs to happen for you, because what goes for this person is that person. Credit is also like fingerprints. People have different fingerprints. They may have the same goals, but they have different fingerprints. And that's just what it is.
Absolutely. I could not agree more, my friend. I'll tell you, there's a lot of misinformation out there on YouTube University and TikTok and Instagram. And that's why I need you guys to be a part of our community and, venture out and join other communities as well. Because here's the thing. I always tell people, you want to kind of join different mentorships and different coaching programs and take away what you can with it. Now, with our program, we have everything that you will need. So there's really no need to join other ones. But if you're that type of person that's like, I got to know what's going on in this group and that group and that group, then by all means do it. But guess what? You're going to have all the tools that you need and personalized help in our group, because we care about your success. We're not trying to sell you on anything. That's the difference between us and them, is I don't care if you ever purchase anything with me or not. My goal is to get you to meet your goals, to see success, because no one deserves to live in that rat race making, bare minimum. They pay us like crap. This job market is so bad. They barely pay people enough to survive. So in this day and age, you have to have multiple streams of income and side hustles in addition to a full-time job just to be able to survive. And that's just surviving. Once you stay on the survival path for so long, then you can start living, because we're growing. We're growing our network. We're growing our wealth. We're growing our education, our mindset. And it gets us to bigger and better places. Okay. But we
Yeah.
have to get on the journey. Okay. And I want to hear, what has your journey been? So leave it in the comments below. I thank you so much for sharing your journey with me, because I know sometimes it can be emotional and things happen. And believe me, I've been through the ringer myself. So I'm right there along with you. But there is light at the end of the tunnel. And at one point, I was like considering filing bankruptcy. I was like, man, it is so bad. Like, I didn't, and it all worked out. It just takes time, and that's one thing about credit is it's not microwavable like the world that we live in. It is going to take months or years to get you right, because of the fact that you have to show your ability to repay back debt as agreed and
Yes.
manage your credit properly. Okay.
Mhm.
So we'll move on. And another thing is, like, when I say no subprime in the credit mix, what I mean is, do not buy shitty trade lines. Do not buy jewelry trade lines. Do not do a bunch of these crappy credit builder accounts. We need trade lines and credit building products with banks and financial institutions. Now, if I was like the average credit repair person, I'm like, here, you need to use all my affiliate links to build credit with all of these places that I get a kickback from.
Yeah. No.
But I'm
No way.
not telling you that, am I?
No way.
I'm telling you, you need to go to credit unions. You need to go to banks. You need to get secured loans. If you need to get a secured card, so be it. Let's do it, right? Because you're going to get your deposit back, unlike these subprime accounts that keep your deposit and you're only going to get it back when you cancel. We don't want to cancel. We don't want to close any accounts. Once you have a revolving credit line open, it's open. Do not close it. Okay. I can really tell the difference in people that are educated and are not, because they'll get mad at the credit card company and they'll close it. Like, it's going to really matter. It's hurting you more than it is them.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. We've been in romantic relationships where our partner has hurt us and we got over it.
right.
To get frustrated and cancel with a bank, I mean, you may have won for that second or cursed them out, but you truly lost the entire war.
Yeah, you lost that battle, my friend.
You lost that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, we can't work on emotions. We have to work on, facts. And it is an emotional roller coaster that we deal with, especially when our finances aren't right, because it's like, that it's a heavy weight on your shoulders. But, anything in this world that you want to perfect takes time, whether that's you losing weight, you want to be on a diet, you want to, redesign your house, or whatever the case may be. All of that is going to take time. It is all a process, and you have to get a blueprint and a plan together before you just go, swinging hammers and taking down walls and shit. Okay. Let's just be honest. And that's the great thing about the community, is you're going to have that support system that says, oh, no, you don't want to do that, but let's do this. Okay. So, that's what we're here for. The link is in the description.